the finance bill, sir, and it shouldn't be a surprise. Sir, with regards to the response that Honourable Minister made in the floor of the House in the Lok Sabha, she called it the Reform Express. I appreciate the fact that she's speaking about the Reform Express, but what she has not spoken about or was ignored as part of her response is the rough terrain that we are going through, this Reform Express is going through, and stands to get derailed if we do not speak to the people of this country through the Parliament, sir. Sir, rupees at a historic low of 94 rupees 70 paise against the dollar. Foreign investors have withdrawn over 1 lakh crore since January 2026. Oil prices have crossed at $120 a barrel, and we are dependent. 85% of our energy security needs comes from through other countries, sir. So this Reform Express stands to get derailed if we do not address this. This could have very well been addressed through a Parliament discussion, which was denied to the opposition. We had several ministers come and make a speech, but they did not give the opposition a chance to seek clarification, sir. So that forms a very important part of the finance bill, the rough terrain that it is undergoing, the Reform Express is undergoing. Sir, excise cut was announced today, and it was spoken about greatly outside, and we were told that Prime Minister is going to be felicitated by the Bharatiya Janata Party MPs for the bold decision he has taken. So how can we forget that within the first week of Israel attacking Iran, there was an LPG price rise which put a further burden on the people of this country, sir. Sir, since I have very limited time, I would want to definitely express request Honourable Minister to look at withdrawing the she has withdrawn the income tax exemption on disability pension for our superannuated soldiers. I would request her to withdraw this simply because it adds further financial burden on our soldiers and our people who have served us at the borders, sir. Sir, in the appropriation bill, I'm grateful to Honourable Minister that she had responded, but she made an unfortunate comment, and I seek your protection here, sir, where she said I had misled the House when I said appropriation bill in the Lok Sabha was passed in 3 minutes. So I'd just like to bring to your notice that in the Business Advisory Committee, usually 5 ministries come up for discussion as for demand for grants. In the last decade, we've rarely discussed all 5 ministries. Even in this budget, we've hardly discussed, beyond the 2 ministries in the Rajya Sabha, we haven't discussed anything, sir. So appropriation bill gives us an opportunity to discuss ministries that go beyond the scope of the demand for grants. That is why I said it could have been an appropriate platform for members of parliament to scrutinize the expenditure that will be appropriated to various ministries, which was denied to them, sir. Sir, last Wednesday in the Lok Sabha, after 3 ministries were discussed, the rest was passed by applying a guillotine. I do appreciate, sir, 30 seconds, sir. I do appreciate the fact that guillotine is not something the Bharatiya Janata Party introduced, and it has been used in a way to, pass the financial bills. But, sir, I'd just like to bring to your notice and put it on record. In 2025, 90% of total budget expenditure passed without a discussion. In 2023, 100%, where 5 ministries amounting to 11 lakh crore was listed for discussion, but none were discussed. 2019, 25% of the bills that were up for... sir, just 2 seconds. In the Rajya Sabha, only one of the 4 ministries were listed, only one was discussed. And in 2018, the entire expenditure was guillotined and passed without discussion. I would want to put it on record that we have seen that scrutiny of such bills and appropriation of such funds is hardly discussed. And I just wanted to place it on record. We need to have discussion on that. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman ji to give combined